Hello, my name is Leighton, and this is a demo of PokerMonday, an add-on I've created for the 2020 Monday Hackathon. In most agile software projects, the team will plan out their next section of work, often named sprint planning. In these sprint planning sessions, tasks are picked from a backlog and estimated on before work starts. PokerMonday is an extension that assists with the estimating portion of sprint planning. Its primary goals are both to make the estimating process more efficient and more engaging than traditional manual estimating techniques. I will now demo some of the key features of PokerMonday. I will first show the user interface for PokerMonday. When an app is initially loaded, users are presented with the following screen and given the option to either create a new session or join an existing one. When creating a new session, users can pick a card set to be used in the estimating process, and some common ones have been given as seen here, such as the Fibonacci numbers, powers of 2, or t-shirt sizes. When a card set is picked, a preview of the cards is shown below, and users are also able to add custom cards. So for example, here, and you can see the preview also updates when cards are defined. A pin code can also be used when creating a new session, which will be required when anyone else joins that session. When joining a session, users will need to provide a session ID. However, when clicking on the session ID text box, a list of recent sessions along with the project manager is listed below for easy autocomplete. So I'm going to join this session, and this session does not have a pin code configured. So this is the main interface of PokerMonday. At the top, we have the current user and their role, which in this case is a user role. The two roles are either user and admin, which would be the project manager. Underneath that is the status, which will tell the user what action is required from them, if any. So in this case, no action is required directly from this user, as we are waiting for a project manager or an admin to pick the task to be estimated. Underneath that is the listed are the cards that the user will use to estimate with once a task has been selected, and below that again is the current estimations done by the team. And at the very bottom we can see the session ID, which can be sent to other users for them to join this session. On the right hand side we have a list of the tasks that can be estimated, and in this case there's no tasks as they haven't been configured yet. I'm now going to show what an estimation session would look like from both the admin and the user's perspective. So in this case, I'm going to pick t-shirt sizes as the cards to estimate with and create a new session. So this is what the admin sees, which is very similar to what the user sees. Note that the role is denoted here in the square brackets. The other notable difference is that the status is no longer waiting for a user, but is to pick a task to estimate. So on the right hand side we can see there's an option to add tasks. We can pick here from a Monday board, so I'm going to use this board, and then a group that's within that board, so I'm going to use group 1. And we can see here a list of tasks that would be in that group. So I'm going to pick them all, and you can see that as I'm picking them they're adding to the right hand bar here. So the status is still to pick a task, so I'm going to pick task 1, and you can see as soon as I pick that task, two new panes appear at the top. The first one showing the current task that's being estimated, and the second one to finalize the estimate, which will be done at the end of the estimation for this task. So I'm now going to open the session, which will allow users to begin estimating. From the user's perspective, and I'm going to note down this session ID. So if I reload this page, so this is the session that I've just created now, and I'm going to join it as a user. We can see that the user sees very similar to what the admin sees. They can see the tasks that have been selected, however they can't switch tasks. They can see the current task that's being estimated, and they can see the details for that task, but they cannot see the finalize box. The details included are the name of the task, the person that the task is assigned to, and other details along with the estimate, which would be filled out if it had been estimated before. We can also see updates, which are the comments that would be shown in Monday. So if I switch back to the admin user, I'm now just going to estimate this task. So let's say I think it's a large task. And you can see as I've clicked this, my name now has an L at the top to show that I've estimated as large. Fred still hasn't estimated anything. If I switch back to Fred, we can see that Fred only sees a tick, showing as users cannot see each other's estimates until the estimation session is complete. So Fred can now estimate, and let's say he estimates this to be a small task. So we can see Fred has estimated S for small. If I switch back to the admin again, the admin can see Fred's estimate, and their own admins or project managers can see all the estimates. The next option here, the next option in the process would be to reveal the estimates to all users. This will be done once everyone has estimated, and because they have both by all the symbols not being dashes anymore and the 2 out of 2 at the top here. So I'm going to reveal the estimates to all users. And so what this has done is allowed Fred to see my estimate and anyone else who was within the group. So you can see Fred can now see the L over here. So when the next step here is to finalize the estimates. So we can see here that I estimated large, Fred estimated small. So PokerMonday is recommending the middle ground, so medium, to use in the estimate here. And it will always try and find the average of these. Obviously, this can be overridden with any estimate, which would be done when the project manager discusses why the estimates are different in their planning meeting. So for this one, I'm just going to use the medium one. So I'm going to click use, and the box is now filled in with M for medium. And I can either now save this estimate back to Monday for this task, or save it and then estimate onto the next task. So I'm going to do that. So I click save and next task. And we can see the task estimate has been saved, and we've now moved on to task 2. And here's task 2, and then we can immediately begin estimating on task 2. Also note that task 1 now has a tick next to it as it has been completed. So if I were to click back onto task 1, we can see here the estimate is M, and we can see what the estimates were. So tasks can be revisited. And I can go back to task 2. And these sessions are synchronized with all users. So if I go to Fred, he is now also viewing task 2. And if I were to skip task 2 and go on to another task, Fred would also be now viewing another task. So if I look at task 1, we can see that the estimate was medium. If I go to Monday, we can also see that the estimate now has been added into Monday as medium. And if I went to that session again, this one here, and let's say I wanted to change it to extra small, I can save that. We can see the estimate here has changed to extra small, and if I go back to Monday, it's immediately been changed to extra small. So the synchronization is immediate with Monday. So that's how estimation works in PokerMonday. Thanks for watching.